I'm Peggy Moore, a nurse and a functional medicine practitioner. And on this channel, I teach midlife women how to understand their bodies and bring their health back in rhythm. If you're over 40 and thinking, why does my body feel different? You're not imagining it. But what if the reason nothing is working is because you're following someone else's blueprint? Today, I'm going to explain how DNA testing can help personalize hormones, energy, and gut health, especially in midlife. Because after 40, guessing stops working and personalization starts mattering most. Midlife is a recalibration, and one of the biggest shifts that happens in midlife is this. Your body becomes a little less forgiving of generic advice. What worked in your 20s doesn't always work in your 40s, and what worked in your 40s definitely does not work in your 60s. And what works for your friend may not work for you at all, and that's where genetics come in. When we talk about DNA wellness testing, we're not talking about predicting disease or labeling you. We're talking about tendencies. Your DNA is the choreography your body was born with. Your lifestyle determines how that dance unfolds. Research in nutrigenomics, the study of how genes interact with nutrition, continues to show that genetic variation influences how individuals metabolize specific nutrients and respond to dietary patterns. In fact, a large European random control trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that personalized nutritional advice led to greater improvements in dietary behavior compared to generalized advice. That's powerful, and it tells us that personalization increases effectiveness. Your genes influence how efficiently your body processes B vitamins, how it vitamin D, how it handles omega-3 fatty acids, how it regulates inflammation, clears hormones, and even how your body responds to stress. Genes aren't the destiny, they are the information, and information allows us to personalize. After 40, estrogen begins to fluctuate and progesterone declines. That means cortisol, your stress hormone, becomes more dominant in the hormonal conversation. Certain genetic patterns influence how quickly cortisol rises, how slowly it clears, and how reactive your nervous system is to that response. Some nervous systems are salsa dancers. They're quick and fiery. And some are waltzers, steady and measured. In a 2020 systematic review in Nutrients, it highlighted how gene-environment interactions significantly influence metabolic health and stress-related outcomes. In other words, the way your body responds to stress is not just about mindset. It's about biology. If your genes suggest slower stress hormone clearance, high-intensity exercise may exhaust you instead of energize you. If you have stronger stress reactive patterns, blood sugar stability becomes even more important because this is where personalization helps to replace frustration. Now let's talk about these detox pathways because this becomes incredibly important in midlife. Your liver clears estrogen in two major ways. Phase 1, it activates your hormones. And phase 2, it neutralizes and prepares them for elimination. Certain gene variations influence how effectively those enzymes function. In a 2019 review in Genes and Nutrition, they discussed how nutrigenomics can guide individualized dietary recommendations by understanding these variations in metabolic and detoxification pathways. When detox pathways are less efficient, estrogen clearance may be slow, and this contributes to bloating, breast tenderness, brain fog, and irritability. So instead of suppressing symptoms, we support the pathway, and that's a very different strategy. Let's talk about metabolism, because this is where many women feel confused. Some women thrive on lower carbohydrates, that keto diet, Others feel fatigued and irritable on the same plan. Certain genetic patterns influence our insulin sensitivity, our fat oxidation efficiency, our appetite signaling, and our exercise recovery patterns. The research on personalized nutrition continues to show that individualized approaches improve adherence and outcomes compared to this generalized dietary advice. Which means if keto makes you miserable, it may not be a lack of discipline. It may be your metabolic wiring. And once you understand that, you can stop blaming yourself and find a plan that works with your body. Now let's talk about sleep, especially the 3 a.m. wake up. Certainly genes influence your melatonin production, neurotransmitter metabolism, and they also influence how you break down catecholamines, or that specific group of brain chemicals and hormones like dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine or adrenaline, and estrogen metabolites. If your system metabolizes those stress hormones more slowly, then your nervous system may struggle to fully power down at night. This doesn't mean that you're broken, but it does mean that your system may need more intentional support. You may need better evening blood sugar stability, some magnesium, some nervous system regulation, and light hygiene. Again, personalization for what your DNA shows your body needs. In your 20s and 30s, your body was more forgiving. Hormones were predictable, recovery was faster, and metabolism was flexible. But in midlife, the dance changes. Estrogen fluctuates, cortisol becomes louder, inflammation becomes more noticeable, and sleep becomes lighter. And this is when genetic tendencies become more obvious. Instead of asking what's wrong with me, we can ask, what does my biology uniquely need now? DNA testing is not about labeling yourself. It's about understanding your blueprint. It moves you from trial and error to informed and intentional. The science of nutrigenomics continues to grow, and research consistently shows that personalized approaches improve behavior change and metabolic outcomes compared to this generic advice that we get all over the internet. Your DNA is the choreography. Your lifestyle determines how this dance unfolds. And when you understand your wiring, you can support your body with more precision and a lot less frustration. Your body is not broken. It may simply need a different rhythm. And that rhythm is discoverable. If you want to learn more about personalized testing and my programs, visit More Health and Wellness. Your body isn't broken. It's ready to dance with more clarity, grace, and rhythm. If you want to build true body literacy, learning the dance your body is doing, subscribe and join me. Your body isn't broken, it's dancing. Let's learn the choreography together.